To discuss that, bring in Eric Mandel, director of the Middle East Political Information Network, a private Middle East research analysis organization. Eric, welcome. What happens to thousands of ISIS members who either were arrested or surrendered in Syria?
So we need to look at this because people are sort of celebrating the territorial loss of Daesh, of Islamic State. And the problem is first, the ideology is not going away. Mm-hmm. Second, many of these fighters are going to go near into Iraqi Kurdistan, and they're regrouping there. But some will go back to countries and will be a threat, and some will slip back. So that is another problem. The bigger problem is this is the end of the beginning of the Syrian conflict. And so we have so many problems now between the United States, Russia, Syria, Turks, Kurds. So we celebrate that we've defeated them to a certain degree, but it should be a small celebration.
It seems like it should also be something of a slam dunk when you have them in custody to find out who they are, what country they're going to want to go back to, and then send them there and have that country put them on trial.
You would think so. Nobody really wants to take terrorists back. You could think about Guantanamo Bay, of extending people back, and then we send people back, and some end up, more than a few, end up as terrorists again into certain countries. So it is very frightening to know, and again, what we think about terrorism, we just need a couple of people to create terror. It doesn't take much. So when you have 800 people going back to Europe and slip back, it's a real problem for Europe, and we know what's happened with Europe in the last 5 years.
Eric, why do you think President Trump eventually changed his mind regarding U.S. troops on the ground in Syria? Now he says that he agrees that there is a need to keep about 200 troops on the ground there instead of pulling out the entire force. Will 200 troops change much, though?
I think this forces was small beforehand. So every time Trump seems to have a conversation with President Erdogan of Turkey, he seems to change his mind and something bad happens. So we had in December that he said, well, I'm going to move out all the troops. So what we have, our defense minister and McGurk, who is the ISIS head, quit. Then he backtracked because it seemed like Bolton Pompeo came to him and said, we can't do this. Then Turkey came in, they seized Afrin, which basically ethnically cleansed the Kurds there. Then what happened was Bolton went to go talk to Erdogan, and what happened? Erdogan snubbed him. Then the president went in the other direction against Erdogan, and he threatened sanctions, devastating economic sanctions against Turkey, a NATO ally that is a frenemy of us. And now we had another conversation today talking about a security zone in the northeast part of Syria, except the Kurds want to have no part of it. They don't want Turks who think that they're terrorists threatening them. They want a UN presence there. So there are this is multidimensional, and the potential for, if we thought it was bad of a Syrian conflict before, this could be just the beginning of some real problems among some major international players.
We started this segment by talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and 2 more Palestinians killed on this day. This is the 50th straight Friday of demonstrations, of violence along the Gaza border. There also seem to be growing tensions in the West Bank between Israeli settlers and Palestinians. Do you see this getting resolved or getting worse?
Well, resolved is
resolved is totally the wrong word.
We're waiting for the Trump administration peace plan to resolve.
Getting better or getting worse, I guess, is the key question.
I think we're going to see some more destabilization until the Israeli election. It seems that is bringing some more events going on, but Hamas would like to destabilize the West Bank. They hate Fatah, the current Palestinian Authority, more than they hate the Israelis. Hamas is cornered. Qatari money is not coming in now because they broke their part of the deal of keeping things quiet. And so they feel that if they have enough terror and inflicting casualties on Israel or scaring Israel, that the world will come back and give them a better deal. So these things are all going at the same time. And in the Middle East, whatever we're discussing today will look different tomorrow. So you have to be nimble.
From 1 to 10, how high are your hopes for the Trump administration peace plan?
-1.
Woo, woo. All right.
Not that it's a bad plan. I don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
But I think the environment is not right on so many levels. We'll discuss that maybe another time.
Well, and also if the peace plan is relying on just one sole sort of Palestinian body to approve it, then it's dead on arrival just because of the fighting between Hamas and Fatah and everything.
Or one sole prime minister of Israel to approve it.
That's true. Eric Mandel, director of the Middle East Political Information Network. Eric, good to have you. Thank you.